What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Deaths of the Age of the You Can't Whoop Me edition. When y'all get in here, go ahead and like the video. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss when I go live. If you're watching from Facebook, make sure that you like the page and you follow it so you won't miss when I go live. Um, if y'all don't know, the infamous Sydney Starr allegedly pulled her penis out in front of co-star Judi Jai on the show Baddies of ATL. Now, I just heard about this a couple of days ago. I wasn't familiar with it at all. I never watched the show. I do know who Sydney Starr is, though, right? If y'all don't know who Sydney Starr is a trans woman who is responsible for actually ending Chingy's career. She's the one that came out and said that she was messing around with Chingy. If y'all remember that big debacle when things was going down with Chingy that put a halt to his career, she also came out recanting her statement. So she done sat here and lied on this man and ended his career. She also was on, I think it was Love and Hip Hop New York, if I'm not mistaken. She also was on Love and Hip Hop New York. She's always been, kind of catty, extra, and everything like that. She's a very pretty girl. I think she's really, really cute, but she's always just did the most, just being extra, whatever the case may be. So what ended up happening was they had the reunion for Baddies ATL. And Baddies ATL consists of like girls from the Bad Girls Club. It's kind of like the alumni or whatever. And Judi Jai is on there sharing a room with Sydney Starr, or whatever the case may be. And they were cool at one point, but they kept getting into it on the show. Now, even though I didn't watch the show, I did used to see certain things where they'll be going back and forth. And it was, I don't know who it was, that had came out and was saying that, the girls were basically bullying. They were basically bullying Sydney Starr and hitting on her and stuff. And because Sydney Starr is a trans woman, she couldn't hit them back. I do remember that came out, right? So when I heard about the fact that Sydney Starr whipped out her male genitalia, I was just taken aback and I had to do a little digging because this is something that just got brushed under the rug. So I'm trying to figure out like what the hell going on. And it seemed to me that this is something that should have broke the internet, but it didn't, right? So when I did some digging, I found clips of Judi Jai going on a rant, and she was talking about what actually transpired at the time of Sydney Starr whipping out her penis on her, right? So this is what Judi Jai said happened. I don't have the clip. Y'all can look it up on YouTube or whatever. But this is what Judi Jai said happened. She said that Sydney Starr came out. She came out. She was butt naked. She said Sydney Starr came out butt naked, and I think she said she did it or something like that, and so she was standing from the front. So Judi Jai was under the impression that Sydney Starr had underwent the surgery and got her vagina, right? So they was like, slapping fives or whatever, talking about, girl, you did it or whatever the case may be. And Sydney Starr turned around and exposed her penis. She had her penis tucked in her butt. So when she turned around, her penis is tucked in her butt or whatever the case may be. And so she went to laughing about it and stuff like that. And Judi Jai, she didn't think that was cool at all. Hold on, something going on. So Judi Jai, she ain't find nothing funny about it. She didn't think that it was cool at all. So her and Sydney Starr, they constantly getting into it or whatever the case may be. Judi Jai, she went on a rant about it. When she goes on a rant about it, again, it was swept under the rug. It also came out, during a reunion where she was talking about, she whipped her penis on me. Now, during the show, when all of this was transpiring, people was saying that Judi Jai was transphobic. They trolling her and everything, talking about she's transphobic because she didn't feel comfortable with Sydney Starr whipping her penis out on her. How is that transphobic? I don't know why people feel like cisgender women don't have the right to say anything about what makes them uncomfortable. Just because a cisgender woman doesn't want to be exposed to your dingling doesn't mean that she is transphobic. Why you whipping your dick out? You know, if a cisgender man were to do that, it would be an issue. It would be all over the internet. But because Sydney Starr is a trans woman, it's just brushed on the rug like it's okay. And I was watching the show. I'm not gonna say any names or whatever the case may be, but I was watching the show that I got this information from that made me want to dig. And it's a panel show, and I love and I admire and I appreciate the opinions for each individual that's on that panel. Okay. But I was listening to one person that was on that panel that happened to be a man that stood up and tried to tell a woman, a cisgender woman, how she's supposed to feel by something like that happening. It made her feel like, you know, her concerns are invalid or whatever the case may be. It made it seem like it's a because a woman has a cisgender woman has a problem with being exposed to something like that, then she's not accepting the fact that this person identifies a certain type of way. Let me tell you something. I don't give a damn how you identify. I don't care how you identify. Do not sit here and expose yourself to me unwarranted. That's just not how any of this works. And my thing is, the person on the panel did try to make a point and say, you know, like if you're in a locker room and things like that, when cisgender women are in the locker room with each other, and we're getting undressed with each other, whatever the case may be, we know that it's vagina there, it's nothing to see, or whatever the case may be. We would just go ahead and go on about our business. And that's the reason why, you know, there has always been a separation with restrooms and locker rooms and things like that because of that. You know, anything can happen. Actually, Sydney Starr needs to be careful because somebody could turn around and lie on her and make it seem like she's trying to be some type of predator or whatever. And I feel like that's sexual harassment. I'm just really sick and tired of people making it seem like all of our concerns as cisgender women is just invalid when it comes to that. And we just have to share this space in a way. Somebody even told me that you trying to put people in their place. You trying to put them in their place. Let me tell y'all something. Everybody got a place. Men, women, and children got a place. And these trans people got a place too. Everybody got a place. You can't do all things. You can't do every single thing that you want to do. Yes, you do have a place. And if you're going to run around here and you're going to talk about that you're a woman or whatever the case may be, you got to stick to the code that women do. Women don't appreciate for a cisgender man to whip his penis out. So why you feel like we going to appreciate you whipping your penis out because you a different type of woman? It just don't, it's not cool. And then my thing is people act like they can't understand it. We got to be real careful with establishing these boundaries because before you know it or not, you're going to have these pedophiles feeling like they need to be accepted and they need to be understood and all this old kinds of stuff. Y'all already adding every goddamn letter in the alphabet to the LGBTQ. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going to be so long until we get to the damn P. So you got to be very careful with that because these people are out here feeling like just because they identify a certain type of way, everybody got to conform to that, and everything that bothers them and offend them, they just have to relinquish that to make you comfortable, and it doesn't work like that. You have to respect people's spaces. You have to respect people's boundaries. You can't sit here and say that somebody is transphobic just because they have a problem with certain things. And all of this stuff is a conversation piece. It's like you trans people get offended by something and then blow it all up, cancel people and all this old kinds of stuff. Cisgender people, they don't get offended about nothing. And if they do voice they concerns about something, then they gotta stand the risk of being canceled or whatever. You gotta sit here and try and be politically correct by somebody violating you. I'm not finna be sitting here and be politically correct when somebody just did something disgraceful. Somebody did something they didn't supposed to do. Somebody done violated somebody. That ain't the time to be sitting up here trying to be politically correct and to protect somebody in the same breath that you have been violated. That's a form of some kind of Stockholm syndrome or something. You do something, you violate a person, and then you want to tell a person how they need to respond to being violated by you when you were the aggressor. And my thing is, I have no problem with Sydney. If that's the way Sydney Starr, she want to identify herself or whatever, that's cool. But I'm finna tell you something. This is what I have a problem with these trans people. I have a problem with these trans women that run around here and act like gay boys. You either gonna be a woman or you gonna be a gay boy. You gonna have to pick one. And you cannot straddle the fence whenever it is convenient. And that's what a lot of them are doing. They're straddling the fence. 1 minute it's like, accept me, I'm a woman, accept me. If you feel like you a woman every day that you wake up, you identify as a woman or whatever the case may be, you shouldn't feel comfortable with exposing yourself like that. Like, my thing is, how are you really, you know what I'm saying, any different? To be honest, if that's the case, how you any different than a woman that's a stud? It's starting to look like you're playing dress up at that point when you still using your penis for leverage. What's the difference? What's the difference with a woman, a trans woman with a penis that's dressed up in whatever the case may be, like a girl, and a stud a woman with a vagina that's dressing up like a boy? What? Somebody tell me what's the difference? Because all of it is an identity thing. This stud is identifying as a boy. She feel comfortable in these boy clothes or whatever. She don't feel comfortable with, her titties growing to a certain point. She may take hormones to stop her cycle or whatever the case may be. She might do all of that. She might wear boxer briefs, Tims, fitted hats, just like a young nigga. You know what I'm saying? So what's the difference? But at the end of the day, she has a vagina. At the end of the day, she is not walking around with this prosthetic man-made penis that she done sit and bought from the Adams and Eve, and she ain't walking around with that strapped to her, whipping it out on nobody. So if they can't do it, you can't do it. A stud woman can't just come out here and just, expose her vagina and it be okay because, she identified this way. She gonna get ridiculed just like any other woman. Ain't none of it cool. And people try to normalize BS. That's what I don't like. Quit sitting up here trying to normalize BS. It's one thing for you to have your sacred space. It's one thing for you to be able to coexist and live in this world at peace just like everybody else. That's one thing. It's one thing for you to have certain rights and privileges just like everybody else. But at some point, we got to draw the line. At some point, there has to be some boundaries. And it ain't about putting nobody in the place. It's about just how you want to wake up one day and identify a certain type of, identify what you are, whatever the case may be. You got to identify with the fact that it's some boundaries. As a cisgender woman, there's boundaries for me. There's just things that I cannot do as a cisgender woman. There's things that cisgender men, they just cannot do it. And that's just what it is. And don't nobody have no qualms about it because it's just what it is. You can't go and tear down all structure. You can't if you tear down all structure, you just gonna be living in a world full of savages. There has to be some type of rules. There has to be some type of boundaries. There has to be some type of understanding. There has to be some type of open-mindedness on both ends. And I'm sick and tired of people feeling like cisgender women, like we're the only ones. We just gotta welcome in everything, everybody, share our space or whatever, and have things like put in front of us or whatever, and we just gotta choke it up. We bet not say nothing about it or whatever. Otherwise, we tripping. Otherwise, we're transphobic or whatever the case may be. You even got these people running around. It even was a case where a cisgender woman tested for high levels of testosterone, whatever that damn hormone is. She done tested for that, high levels of that, and was disqualified for competing in a competition. But here it is, a trans woman able to compete in the competition. That's not right. Everybody has advantages and disadvantages or whatever the case may be. Do you see the people who are physically challenged or deal with some type of conditions to where they may be at a disadvantage or whatever the case may be, where they don't compete in the same sports that we compete in because there is a difference? And so a lane has been carved out for them to be able to compete. Remember Polar Tink Tink, where some people felt like, because he had these whatever the metal legs or whatever he had going on, I don't know, them clinking feet, but because he had them clinking feet or whatever the case may be, some people felt like it was an advantage for him to run because he don't have certain nerve endings or whatever the case may be, like some might be robotic or whatever about it. People thought that it was a advantage for him to race. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lane for that. Things are broken down in different categories and everything for a reason. And there's nothing wrong with it. So for you to feel like you just get to come in, and occupy certain spaces, and there is no rules for you, and somebody tell you what the boundaries are, whatever the case may be, you have a problem with it. It just seems like y'all don't want to follow nothing. Y'all don't want to follow through with nothing. Every single thing get flipped, turned upside down. If a cisgender woman say, "Hey, I don't like for you guys to use this term," that's a problem. You don't understand the ballroom. You don't. No, I don't, because I don't go to the ballroom. I'm a cisgender woman. You know what I'm saying? So, outside of your little space, in my world, this term is derogatory. In your world, this term is a sense of endearment. That still don't mean that I gotta respect. I gotta accept the fact that you use this term. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? You can't just have your cake and eat it too. And then people be acting like they don't understand it. But if it's something that actually affects them, oh, they get it now. They understand the undertones and the nuances of everything when it actually affects them. But when it affects somebody else, oh, I don't want to hear it or whatever. And it's not a space to have open conversations about it. I could see if somebody was sitting here just being malicious, they being mean or were derogatory towards a person for no reason. But for somebody to actually whip out their genitalia, that's not right in the first beginning. For somebody to legitimately do something well, I'm gonna say allegedly, for somebody to allegedly do something, and this person says, hey, what you did offended me, you don't get to turn around and get mad because somebody else is offended by something that you did. That's when you need to have some type of understanding for them. You know, the way that y'all, have these little pop-ups and get to talking and do these PSAs to try and get people to understand and build awareness for different things or whatever the case may be. And you want somebody listening to you and taking into consideration of your plight, you need to have that same level of understanding on the other end and quit trying to make it seem like it's somebody just being against you or whatever the case may be. But if you been living this, you trying to find somewhere to fit in, not us. This is what I don't think trans women understand. We're not trying to. Society been set up a certain type of way when it comes to us. We already know what bathroom to go in. We already know if we do this, that's going to be a problem. If we don't do this, that's going to be a problem. We already know, you know what? It might not be a good idea for us to walk around the park in the middle of the night. We already know, hey, you know what I'm saying? We could do certain things to get certain things that we want. If we do this going to have a positive reaction. This going to have a negative reaction. We know how to move and maneuver in this world as cisgender women. There's a space that has been carved out for cisgender women, right? Y'all come along and start identifying however the fuck y'all want to identify, and then try and come in our space and then try to recreate things and make it seem like, oh, okay, this been a structure for cisgender women this whole time. I'm gonna bring my ass into their space. You know what I'm saying? And then tell them how things are supposed to go and what they should be offended by, or whatever the case may be. That's not how any of this works. And it ain't about nobody trying to shun somebody or belittle them or whatever the case may be. But I still feel the same way that I felt when I did that last video. At the end of the day, however you identify, there's something going on in your head. You know what I'm saying? And people have gotten to the point where they're willing to, have some type of understanding for it or whatever. But there's something that's going on in your head. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, at the end of the day, if you were born with a penis and you have male genitalia, then you have the hormones that make up a male. And that's the reason why you have hormone therapy, to help you transition into being and help you transition to where you could be, more of, quote unquote, like a biological woman or whatever the case may be. So you cannot tell me, if you was born with those male parts, if you have the hormones that a male have, you cannot sit here and tell me that the same type of ego that men be having, and the same type of feeling that men have, where, naturally have, where they try to have dominance over a woman, that a trans woman don't experience the same thing. Because you still have the male hormones. And so if you tell me you don't have the male hormones, you had them at one point. You just taking hormone therapy in order to dilute them. So you had them at one point. They're still there. They're still lying dormant. They don't just go away. You just start taking some other shit to counteract it. But that ego and everything, or whatever the case may be, that come with males, y'all still have that. Because biologically, you are a male. You know what I'm saying? Biologically, I am a female. Now, as far as a social construct, if you want to identify as a woman, okay, do your thing. I could sit here and identify as whatever the hell I want to identify, but at the end of the day, biologically, I'm a female. Biologically, you're a male. Socially, in this social construct, as far as manhood and womanhood, or whatever the case may be, we could do the you a woman thing all damn day. But you still have the chemical makeup as a man. And that same type of dominance that the men be trying to have over a woman It's the same type of dominance that trans women try to have, come into a space and then try to create your own space. And when I say create your space, I'm not saying go over there and do something or whatever the case may be, but quit trying to make it seem like it's a problem with us or we got a problem with you or whatever the case may be, because we got a problem with certain things because we got this space that's carved out for cisgender women. And here it is, you coming over into our space doing all this wild ass shit, pulling your tuck dick out and all this or whatever, and you just want us to be cool with it. I'm just supposed to be, oh, okay, she gotta, please quit. I'm really tired of people to quit acting like this was just the norm. We should, like, we should know, we know about this. We should just, it's nothing, mind your business. It doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? This whole trans thing is something new. Not to say that it ain't been going on, it ain't been happening or whatever, but for it to be just like so much in the forefront, and for it to be such a thing, that's fairly new. You know what I'm saying? And I understand, at a point where you trying to like maneuver through life or whatever the case may be, and you trying to find yourself and all this all kinds of stuff. I understand that there is a lot that has to possibly come with that or whatever. But the same way that you had to go through a journey and to get to identify yourself, it's the same way the rest of the world got to take a journey and be able to identify and understand this. You know what I'm saying? I get gay boys all day long. You know what I'm saying? But don't sit here and act like, it ain't nothing to turn your head and make you look sideways or make you question when you see a guy, you know what I'm saying, who that said, okay, now I identify as a woman, and you have this person that you look at like a man, and now he come out, he identifies as a woman, and now he's walking around looking like a woman with a beard and a wig on or whatever, and you actually want people to just be like, oh, okay, that's just no big deal. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work like that. You gotta give people time and you gotta respect people's space. And that's the thing, that's the problem that I have with this. And then it's like, once somebody get violated or somebody tell you that it's something wrong, you should respect it. Same way, if somebody violates you or do something to you or whatever, people should respect it. These trans women that run around here and get to dealing with these men that's on the down low and everything, and something happened to them or whatever, I feel like the same type of compassion should be, they should get the same type of compassion as anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, their life is just as valuable as anybody else. But you cannot weaponize your gender identity. You have so many of these trans women that sit here and say you identify as a woman, but then you turn around and expose men for dealing with you. So it started making people feel like, do you really feel like you're a woman? Because if you did, then you wouldn't even feel like it was anything wrong for any man to be dealing with you if you really identified as a woman. Or is you like weaponizing it also? And you using it to do what it is that you want to do. Like Sydney Starr sitting up here, it ain't nothing in my mind that'll make me think that she actually thought it was okay to run out butt naked, allegedly run out butt naked with her penis tucked and turn around and show that girl that. Who wants to see that? And my thing is, as cisgender women, there's things that we do not display. There's things that we do not show. We could be living with a man and he wouldn't know we on our cycle or whatever the case may be. It's just certain things that we don't do. So for you to just expose yourself like that, it don't even seem like you have any respect for yourself to even do something like that. And it also goes to show you have no respect for her. And that wasn't nothing funny about that. That wasn't funny at all. And I'm just sick of it. It's like you cannot have your cake and eat it too. I was on a post and somebody was telling me, "Oh, you transphobic. You this. I'm not scared of trans people. I done got called fat phobic. And look at me. But anyway, um, this person, you transphobic or whatever the case may be, because I got a problem with a woman who still has a penis pulling her penis out. Because honestly, if you feel like this is just how I feel, and I'm gonna just be perfectly honest with you. I feel like if you actually feel like a woman and you identify as a woman, you either need to go ahead and complete the transition, or you need to not weaponize your penis. And when I say not weaponize your penis, I mean this. Don't be making comparisons about, how you could take a man from a cisgender woman and all this old kinds of stuff. Don't be running around here acting like a gay boy, because that's what it comes off as. If you're not gonna fully transition, whatever the case may be, like, be cool. That's all. You have some trans women like Laverne Cox or whatever. She conducts herself like a woman. She does not act like a trans boy. Like, you wouldn't even know that she was trans unless she told you she was trans. Like, she acts like a woman. She don't act like a gay boy. And I hope y'all could understand what it is that I'm saying by the difference between a trans woman and a gay boy. Like, I don't like when it be these trans women, they be acting all flamboyant or whatever, like, and they just acting like a gay dude or whatever the case may be. I don't know how to get down with it. That's just doing way too much. And that's how Sydney Starr. Act. Sydney Starr act like a gay boy. She does not act like a woman. Because no woman is going to just be comfortable with just running around and exposing her whole whatever she got between her legs like that, just all out the blue. And that's just the truth. Hell, I don't even know gay boys that do nothing like that. But what I'm saying is, don't weaponize your penis. If you're gonna keep it or whatever the case may be, keep it, but don't weaponize it. If you really want to be seen as a woman or whatever, why would you even be whipping your penis out to people that you're not having sex with? Why? If you want me to view you as a woman, if you want other people to view you as a woman, why are you pulling your penis out on them? Because cisgender women don't have penises. And if you want us to respect the fact that you're a different kind of woman, you need to respect the fact that it's just some type of boundaries and everything that come with it. People shouldn't even be having to tell grown ass people this. But here it is. We got to tell people. And I'm just so mad at the fact that people just brush this under the rug like it wasn't nothing. Like, that is a big problem. That was not right. That happened allegedly. That was not right if that was something that actually happened. And instead of holding Sydney Starr, and that's another thing that I don't like. Like, where is the accountability for trans people? And instead of holding Sydney Starr accountable, instead of I'm this girl, when I went to go figure out what the hell was going on, she was the one getting dragged. She being called transphobic. I don't see Sydney Starr ain't being dragged. I type in Sydney Starr, hell, the Chingy situation pops up. A video clip pops up about Sydney Starr on Love and Hip Hop talking about at the doctor's office talking about she finna transitional whatever the case, all this kind of stuff pop up. But when I pull up Judi Jai, it's all this stuff about her being transphobic or whatever the case may be. That's not right. That is not right. And my thing is, you're in that girl space. You can't go to the country club and start telling them how to square dance and what they need to be doing up in there. I can't go to the boys club and go in there and start telling them what they need to be doing in there and how they should feel about certain things. There's rules and regulations everywhere you go. Don't come in cisgender women's spaces and then try rewrite the rules and everything and try and make it seem like it's an issue if we got a problem. Because my thing is, y'all know plain good and well, if a cisgender man pulled his penis out, it'll be a problem. The cisgender man, what if, okay, I'm gonna do you one better. Every trans person is not, as beautiful as Sydney Starr. They haven't, some trans people just got to a point where they, just, started to identify with themselves or whatever the case may be. And, they probably haven't taken hormone therapy or whatever. They probably still got beards, still don't know how to dress where, clearly, what I'm saying, this person looks like a man, right? So what if that person was to whip out, ain't got no breast implants or nothing yet. So right now you still look like a biological man. You still look like a man, right? So now let's take a man, a cisgender man, who still look like a man, who still look like you. So let's take him. Do he get to pull out his penis on somebody because he identifies as cis? And then this person who looked just like him get to pull out her penis because she identified as a woman? And everybody's supposed to be like, you know what? It's okay that she pulled her penis out because in her mind, she's a woman. This is how she identified with. So even though still got a dingling and everything, this person identify like this. So now it's okay. We need to accept this is just a different type of girl, still looking like a man right now, but we need to accept it's a different type of girl or whatever the case may be. And it's okay for her to pull her penis out and we brush it under the rug because she said that she's a woman, but it's not okay for this cisgender man to do it. So as long as you have a penis, you got to follow the rules that people with dicks got to follow. That's all I'm saying. As long as you got a penis, you need to follow the rules that people with dicks got to follow. People with dicks can't do the shit you did. It's simple as that. I don't give a damn if you identify as a leapfrog. It's things that you just can't do. And you still got this your dick swinging. It's things that I cannot do. And I have this vagina. There's rules for people with vaginas. There's things that people with vaginas can't do. There's things that people with penises can't do. Simple as that. You don't get to straddle the fence. You don't get the half ass. You don't get to keep your dick. And then you want to also, want people to accept this and accept this. So no. One minute you identify as a woman, and then the next minute you pulling a dick out on somebody. You better do that with the guys who date you or whatever the case may be. That's something that should be in going on in the comfort of your home. But it's not one of those things where you just get to sit here and do just all willy-nilly or whatever the case may be. If you with somebody who has consented to see that, then it's absolutely okay. Otherwise, you can't start identifying with somebody and then start trying to reprogram everybody else. And that's a problem. And that's the reason why, and this is going to be another conversation. Matter of fact, I might as well go and talk about it now, because another thing, like, these people that made Gonzo gay from the Muppet Babies. Not gay, but trans. They done made Gonzo from the Muppet Babies trans. And I feel like what is going on right now is the kind of like start, with the kids. And it's hard for people to fight against, there being some type of agenda or whatever the case may be, because I've never been one to believe it. I don't believe there is a gay agenda, but it's starting to look real iffy when it comes to this trans stuff, because why Gonzo? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. You had these characters already. It's like, what do cisgender people just don't have any representation? All their representation should go away because you want to have representation. Why you gotta make Gonzo trans? Why don't you just do another character that's trans? You ain't gotta. These kids been playing with Gonzo all this time, and now all of a sudden Gonzo in a dress or whatever. Just make him. Give him another character or something, like whatever the case may be. Just create another character. What's the problem with that? Because if it was a character that was created that was already trans and somebody turned around and made that a cisgender character, y'all have a real issue with it. It'd be hell to tell the captain. And it's starting to feel like it's a certain level of programming going on. And it's starting to feel like, y'all coming along trying to reprogram people's minds or whatever. And I could be absolutely wrong about it, but this is exactly how it's starting to feel, because it's like, you not finna respect no boundaries, or you just finna make sure that make it seem like everything is okay and just try to rewrite things and tell people how they supposed to feel about being violated by something. Oh no. That's not cool at all. It's not cool at all, but I really hate that for both of those girls. I hate it for Judi Jai that she had to be bullied. And I ain't gonna make it seem like Judi Jai is a saint, because I remember her from Bad Girl Club. She's not a saint. But that right there, she had every right to feel away. And I feel bad for Sydney Starr or whatever, because she's still trying to find her way and she's still trying to find her place. And I think that she could actually do some really, really great things. She has a name for herself. I feel that, for her to have came out and exposed somebody and it ended up being a lie, and for her to still have a career and everything, and that person she exposed don't, you know what I'm saying? But for her to still have a career, whatever, she needs to take that as a blessing and quit doing all this old weird ass wild shit. And that's all it is. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not one of those type of people that have a problem with anybody expressing themselves in any way, as long as it's not violating other people. You get what I'm saying? Like, I smoke, right? If I'm around somebody who don't smoke, I'm not gonna go around people who don't smoke and fire up and just be like, well, I smoke, I could do this, and you just gotta accept it. This is what I do. I identify as a smoker. You can't do that. That's disrespectful. Or if I'm around somebody be like, you know what? Can you put that out, because I don't want to deal with the second hand or whatever. I can't in their face and get mad and feel some type of way because they told me that they don't want me to. I'm gonna respect their space. And my thing is, it's not a thing of trying to tell somebody to be anything other than what they are, or not identify however they want to identify. But if these boundaries are not created, then let me tell you something. It's going to end up being LGBTQ LMNOP. But anyway, I thank y'all so much for joining me tonight for another episode of Baddies of ATL. You Can't Whoop Me edition. Share this video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the Facebook page, and hit the notification bell. Tomorrow night, I am going to be streaming the Barbers Challenge. Oh, these people calling me. Hold on, this is my sister. I'm gonna have to call it back. Tomorrow night, I will be streaming the Barbers Challenge. It is going to be in Fort Worth, Texas. Where is it? Here it is. That's gonna be at 7:30. It's gonna be it's gonna be before the fight. That's gonna be in Fort Worth, Texas, at the MVP Barber Lounge. So make sure that you tune into that tomorrow night, and then Tuesday, I'm going to be going live again with for Baddies of ATL. I'll be going live with Supreme Raw again, aka Sauce Garvey. And we're going to be talking about the state of the conscious community. I know all y'all have heard about Brother Polite and the recent arrest and everything that's going on with that. And we'll be talking about Umar Johnson and all these motherfuckers who start asking for donations. They scamming and touching on folks and beating on folks. They just got all kinds of stuff going on. They ain't right either. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'm about to tune out. Y'all have a good night.